If you ever wondered what happened if the Backstreet Boys grew up and decided instead of being pop stars or coming back 20 years later and being geriatric pop stars, they decided to be hitmen, hilarious hitmen, well, popcorn talkers, do we have the answer for you as we cover on today's special 420 episode of Guilty Movie Pleasures, The Big Hit.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk, we talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's Guilty Movie Pleasure.
Sorry, we're laughing about that perfect opening. That was probably the most perfect opening I've ever done in the time that we've had to do official openings on this show. Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all appropriate ages to have seen this film, welcome to Guilty Movie Pleasures as we talk the 1998 cinema classic, The Big Hit, on, as Cameron mentioned, 420.
420.
Yeah, not that I partake really in that.
That's why we chose it.
I have no problem with weed at all, but I don't, anytime I have done it, I just fall asleep, or I get very I eat a lot, or I just sit there like, and just stare at people.
I think that's it.
I just become a shell of myself. Anyways, enough about that. Enough about 420. I am your host, Ben Begley, at The Ben Begley, and with me as always, Cameron. Where can they find you?
At The Only Camshaft on Twitter and
Yes.
Instagram machine. I gotta say, I'm very excited about this one. This is the first time I ever saw
can't
this
believe
movie.
that. Well, you were like 6 years old when this came out, I'm sure.
I was in age, and I was 8.
Wow!
And I regret not seeing it as an 8-year-old, to be honest.
Yep.
Because it was so much fun to watch.
I was, how old was I? 16. I was 16 at the time when I saw it. I was double your age. And I remember I saw this in theaters, and then I bought the VHS, then I bought it on DVD, and then I bought it on Blu-ray, which I forgot to bring it today. What an asshole I am. But I loved this movie when I saw it. I thought it was ridiculous. And I'd never really seen the hitman genre done in such a hilarious, lighthearted way.
No, not at all.
That I
Not
could
at all, because
remember.
there's moments where you're like, oh, this is a serious hitman movie.
And then it just goes off the rails, and there's, seemingly upbeat, sublime song as a dog is tearing apart a trash can full of body parts, and a young Asian woman is hobbling around as she's been kidnapped by Marky Mark.
I want to see if the soundtrack's available.
Because
it is
90s gold.
I don't even know what to describe it as. I think it's a perfect soundtrack for 420 festivities for people out there, because
And it could be a time capsule. It could be something that you could send up into space and say, this is what 1996 to 1997, 95 to 98. This is what it was like.
it was terrible music.
Pretty bad.
But I love, there was another, what was the other movie that we covered recently where the soundtrack was exactly like this?
Oh.
Where there was just really randomly placed like loud guitar riffs and...
Well, I mean, Maximum Overdrive was all loud AC/DC out of
Maximum
nowhere.
Overdrive
But
is
that was
certainly-
amazing.
But one of the other ones, I'll have to think about it for a second, but...
It's so good. So what's your... So
tasty.
when I first saw it, I thought it was really funny. I remember thinking like... that Mark Wahlberg was just like such a little whiny at the time, but still, I thought the action scene, I do remember thinking the action scenes were super badass, and I watch them now, and they're ridiculous. They're not that great, but
It's
they're
very
fun.
simple choreography.
They're fun as hell, and they're completely absurd. Like, when he rolls down, we'll get to it, but when he rolls down the railing and the guy with the machine gun's like, I can't hit you. If only I had the foresight to just aim further down the railing.
The railing...
Oh, so good.
At first, I didn't see his feet.
Oh,
I thought
yeah.
it was just him doing that on his head.
He had a
I was
lot
like,
of-
God damn, you're limber.
He had a lot of like breakdancing meets
There's a
skateboarding,
lot of stuff like that.
gunning technique. This makes Desperado, Antonio Banderas' character in Desperado's shooting techniques look realistic.
Can you imagine if the two were to come together
my
as
God.
one?
If Melvin Smiley, which is his name, Mark Wahlberg's character's name, Melvin Smiley and El Mariachi teamed up, that might be the perfect movie. I'm just saying.
I'm a little afraid to keep talking about it on the air because I
somebody's
think
going
it
to
will
steal
be
it.
stolen.
Somebody's going to steal this. So what did you think of it being the first time you've ever seen
My
it?
God, I loved it. Based off of the name, like Maximum Overdrive was the same way. Based off of the name, I expected something else entirely. The big hit. I thought it was only going to be this hitman movie, like we've seen so far or so many times in the past.
And it's almost
Maximum
not
Overdrive
even-
is the same way.
It's not even about that almost.
And it's almost nothing about that. I love Mark Wahlberg in it, even though he is just the whiniest little bitch in the world.
I did forget to mention the greatest character ever, Cisco, a.k.a. Lou Diamond Phillips. This is the most fun I've ever seen Lou Diamond Phillips have on screen in anything.
Oh, 100%.
And he is awesome in
It
this.
took me a while to recognize him because
Motherfucker, yeah,
he
baby.
does like a lot of sci-fi shows
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah,
now. So
yeah.
I was like, that's him?
Yeah.
But yeah,
He's got that one silver tooth. And that awesome shirt that almost looks like a body tattoo because it's so tight. It's ridiculous, man.
But yeah, I love so much of the dialogue. I love Marky Mark being just whiny as hell. I think
And
that,
like this nicest hitman. I'm sorry
He's
I'm
so
sorry about your
kind.
boyfriend, but he was being kind of rude. When he shoots the guy that's basically about to sexually assault. Her name in the movie is
Keiko? Yeah.
Keiko, but her real name's China Chow.
which I thought was a dog food.
Oh man.
But yeah,
I hope that's her birth name and not a stage name, because anyone who would choose China Chow. This was the first
it is
movie.
her birth name because
Tina Chow, right?
no, it's China Chow.
No, but who's their mom?
Oh, I don't know who the mom is.
She was a
but
pop singer or something.
her dad is Michael Chow, the famous restaurateur.
Look at that. Look at that. Maybe he just wanted his daughter
that
to
in your
sound like a
pocket.
delicious dish.
Yes, China Chow.
She's adorable in this. This was the first thing China Chow has ever been in,
She's
and
great.
And she's been in a few things since.
Yeah.
But I think for never acting before, I've seen way worse. She does a good job. She's charming. She's
definitely.
cute. She doesn't have a lot to work with. She's pretty much just like a damsel in distress most of the movie, and then makes out really grossly with Mark Wahlberg and her make out in the end, and it looks like they're about to, like Mark's about to eat. I like that I called him Mark, like as if me and Mark, when Mark and I were talking about it, he and I are buds, you know, when we were hanging out after the Lone Survivor screening, and I was like, Mark, good job, man. But really, I want to talk about the big hit. It looked like you were eating China Chow's face during that. Like he just is like
really-
consuming the upper part of her lip.
Yeah.
It's very unnerving.
What my first kiss looked like.
Yeah.
But I loved it. I mean, I love when a movie makes choices 100% in one direction instead of
This
going,
does.
hey, it'd be kind of cool if Mark was kind of whiny and then he kind of does it. No, they go to they go to town on it, and I like when people do
Every
that.
single character's
Make a choice and make it
choice
bold.
in this is super bold and crazy. Like
Yeah.
even their boss is the most overt bad guy hitman boss ever, where he's like, hey,
Captain Cisco.
everybody's gonna, here's your money, and he's chewing on the cigarette and all that.
Yeah.
He's got the coolest voice ever.
I really confused myself because I wrote down Cisco in my notes, and because of Captain Cisco, because he plays Captain Cisco in Deep Space Nine.
Oh.
And I'm gonna be confused.
Now you're
I'm
gonna be confused the whole time. I get it. Not to be confused with the thong song singer as well, right?
Yeah,
Cisco?
well, yeah. I mean, naturally.
Thong, 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 thong. Let's
I
do
will
this.
assume that.
Let's do this on the thong song note. Let's do this under 3 minute plot synopsis
Yes.
thing. Let's try and bang this out. See what I did there? Because they're hitmen.
Oh,
Oh, I hated
the
the
Big
joke.
Bang.
The Big Bang. So are we ready? Are we ready there in the boot sack?
Oh yeah.
You start this one.
All
Ben.
right. Wait, let me remember what. Oh, okay. Now,
three.
Now I remember what happened. Okay. In 3, 2, 1. So in the beginning of the movie, we have the Antonio Sabato Jr. I forget his name in the movie, and Melvin, Mark Wahlberg. He's like, hey, here's some dead bodies. I need you to take care of this. Is this Sammy the Bull? No, it's Sammy the Knife. Oh, all right. So then Mark Wahlberg starts dumping it in the tub, and you see these hot heels coming up, and he's about to start like I don't know, disposing of the body somehow or cleaning it somehow. And then his girlfriend, what's her name? Who cares? We'll
I
get
don't
to
even
it.
remember, but she comes in
She
demanding
comes in
all
like,
kinds of money. You owe me
where the fuck is my
$25,000,
money?
motherfucker.
Yeah. She's real rude.
Yeah, she's horrible.
And then how does Mark Wahlberg deal with this after saying like, oh, baby, I'm sexually frustrated. Why won't you give me any? Because we got cock-blocked by a dead man in the shower. He goes and does this gymnastics montage that's
right.
really amazing. Then all 4 dudes are in the locker room just bare ass. And we learn that Bokeem Woodbine's character, Crunch is his name, just jerked off for the first time. And he's in love with his hands. Literally, he's like, I love you, babies. I miss you both.
Oh, my God.
That's the whole rest of the movie just summed up. He talks about jerking off the rest of the movie. Then they go to their first hit, where they go to take out this mob guy, you guess. They don't really know. There's just a photo, and they get in the elevator. They're all dressed as construction workers, and then they basically make Mark Wahlberg do everything.
Yeah,
Take
they're
it away.
sitting outside the door. They're going, hey, yeah, we'll come in there
Drinking
and help
coffee.
you. And Mark is really going to town, which is kind of surprising for a whiny guy.
Yep.
They get a bonus for killing the mob boss, so he kills a mob boss,
Yep.
and we fast forward to a scene where they're all talking to the boss, who I don't remember his name. I'll call him Cisco, even though that's completely not correct. He says, hey, you get the bonus, Mark. You did it, Melvin. And what's his face?
Cisco. The real Cisco.
That Cisco says, no, it was me.
He said, "No, I shot him."
He steals the money.
Which all his friends go along with it. They're all assholes
They're a bunch
about
of dicks.
it. So then Melvin goes home, and we meet his girlfriend or his fiance, Christina Applegate.
That's right.
And she's kind of a gold digger too. So you're like, wait, he's cheating on her, but then you're like, she's kind of not that great either. Then her in-laws are coming into town.
1 minute.
While he's trying to hide the dead body, put it into trash bags and all that good stuff. Big Top Video calls, and they're like, "Oh, Melvin Smiley, you have King Kong Lives out on video. We need you to return it."
Yeah.
And so then they find out that he's got all this financial issues. Both women need money from him. So they're like, all right, we're going to do this kidnapping. So they go kidnap this girl, this Asian girl, played by Chow. Turns out, because they think, oh, it's the daughter of this filmmaker. He's super rich. We'll get a lot of money from him. And then it turns out he made this movie called Taste the Golden Spray.
That's right.
It totally tanked. Basically, a lot of long love stuff with, do you want to take any of that? I don't know what to do.
Yeah, so they have a lot of love stuff. And 30 seconds. Oh, shit.
Let's have your brain explode this week.
Okay, let's have my brain explode. So essentially, they find out it's the goddaughter of what's his name?
Yep.
Who
Bad guy is hitman boss.
Cisco's pulling a quick one on Marky Mark.
20 seconds.
He's saying, hey.
So then Cisco
Take it, man,
basically frames his buddy Gump, kills him. Then he turns everybody against Melvin, thinking that he's the one who kidnapped the goddaughter.
That's
There's
right.
a big shootout in the end. He breaks up with the fiance,
decides
gets
to
together
leave
with China
Keiko.
Chow. He returns the video, and then they make it scot-free, and all the bad guys are like, where'd he go? He's dead. No, we're going off into the sunset.
Man, I got stuck on that one.
It's tough. It's tough.
I got stuck
You know,
on that
because
one.
realistically, this movie is basically 2 action scenes and, and a bunch of comedy in between. So it's a hit in the beginning on the random mob boss that we know nothing about, and then it's the, you kidnapped my goddaughter, we're all gonna kill you. Melvin, oh, the humanity. When Lou Diamond Phillips gives his great speech, and he's like, Melvin's the one who did it? Oh, he was like a brother to me, and he really does this great overacting bit, and then they all show up. I love that all the hitmen have minivans. Like,
yeah,
really,
they're all driving Chrysler Town and Countries.
super shitty minivans.
What the shit? Like, they all invest in something a little bit better.
In their defense, there are a lot of them. You know, there are a lot of hitmen, and it's an economy vehicle.
Suburbans?
It's an economy vehicle where you can fit a lot of dudes with guns. Did you notice, I'm skipping around a bit, but did you notice in the scene where they first introduce all these random faceless, nameless hitmen, all of them are sweating profusely. There's like it looks like the Coolio's Gangster's Paradise video. They're just standing there and just sweat pouring down their face.
You know what? They're nervous.
They're nervous.
They're nervous. They know that they're going to get into a van that is just very precariously built.
Yep.
And they're scared.
Face sudden death because Melvin is the man. So let's break this movie down.
The man, question mark.
Let's break this movie down.
Let's do it.
So we start off the movie, and you know what this kind of weirdly reminded me of, in terms of tone, a Grosse Point Blank, although Grosse Point Blank is a far better film. But even the shootout in the kitchen and stuff like that, it reminded me of Grosse Point Blank with John Cusack.
Yeah.
And but I love the beginning even where, God, what is his name? Zach, find out what Antonio Sabato Jr.'s character's name is. Do you have it? I don't want to call it. Anyway, so he's like, I got that thing this weekend. I got the thing, you know, the whole time.
Vince.
It's Vince, that's right, Vince. So Vince and Melvin, Antonio Sabato Jr., Sabados? Whatever, who cares?
Antonio
I was right. Sabato, I was right. Junior, yeah.
You're right.
So Ian and Melvin, Mark Wahlberg, he's dropping off these bags of bodies, right?
Yeah.
And then Mark Wahlberg's gonna, I guess, throw them in his trunk or something, and then it's leaking blood, and he's like, oh, Vince, you got the shitty loose, thin bags, so then he gets the hefty bags. I guess his goal is to clean up the blood a little bit, because he puts it in the tub, and you think he's gonna like pour something on it to make it dissolve.
Kind of like a Breaking Bad thing.
Yeah, like a Breaking Bad thing. And it doesn't happen. He just re-puts them in sturdier bags and then leaves them for the period of a couple. It seems like this movie takes place over at least 2 days.
Oh, 100%.
Or more.
Yeah, absolutely.
In California in the summer.
Freaking smells.
These chopped up dead body parts, mind you. Not even just a cadaver just rotting. We're talking about organs, veins, blood. All that starts to stink. Blood smells bad after it starts. That sounds weird, like I know.
Everything on the human body smells bad when it's dead.
Yes.
You know, I thought he was going to put like a pine scent air freshener in there with it or something.
How does no one notice this? That's what I don't understand. So we get that intro first, and then we get his girlfriend. What's his girlfriend's name in it? I can't remember. Sorry.
Which one? Or the girlfriend, not the fiance, right?
Not the fiance, the really rude one. Oh, she's so mean in this movie. She's so mean. So she comes up and she's like... Chantel, that's right. She's like, where's my money, motherfucker? And you're like, whoa, all right.
That alone right there. I'm screaming at the screen because I feel for this guy.
Yeah, you're like, dude.
Mark.
Dude, you don't owe her anything, man.
What do you owe her for, by the way?
Come on. Exactly. And so then they're about to get freaky, and then they back up, and you hear this gross, like, yep, that sound effect.
That's it, yeah.
As she steps on a dead body, and then she turns around and goes, he's kind of cute. Who was that?
No questions asked.
That's Sammy the Knife. That's the one thing I think is so fun, 1 out of 100 things, is that Chantel's character is such a gold-digging character that she doesn't even care that he murders people anything. Or later on when he leaves her, she doesn't think to go to the cops and be like, hey, this guy's murdering people. Go get him.
You would think that she would have, because she seems
but she's
like
an
a
extortionist, maybe. That's, you know.
Yeah. What is she spending the money on?
I don't know. Her shampoo for her boyfriend who has Fabio-style
nice
locks.
locks, yes.
Yep, as they watch King Kong Lives.
Come on, you have the tape, you have the money. Leave Mark alone.
You know, come on. I just thought it was, and they got cock-blocked by a dead guy in the shower in the beginning. That was real sad.
Yeah.
And then he's blue-balling a little bit, and the only way to get rid of that is a sweet gymnastics montage. Where
he's on that, God.
Clearly it's not him. When he's doing like that.
What is that thing called? On the barrel?
Sure.
When he's doing the barrel roll.
Yeah, and he's doing and his legs are flipping around
like flying over there. There's a montage.
Oh, it's so good.
From The Office, oddly enough, that this reminded me of. I don't know if they modeled it after this because there's like, I mean, a bunch of movies have done this, but there's like sweat spraying everywhere.
Or did they model this after Flashdance?
They probably modeled it after Flashdance.
Or was it Footloose?
Yeah. But God, I love that scene. Clearly, it's so clearly not Mark.
No, it's amazing. And then our next scene is dudes' butts just hanging out, all four dudes.
Bunch of dude ass.
Just, I don't know where they're coming from, where they all needed a shower before they're hit, and just be bare ass to the world.
They?
I have no idea, because you never see this place again.
No.
They're in a locker room. Maybe it's in the gym where he's doing the gymnastics.
They met him there.
And they just don't show you that the other guys are working out doing other extreme sports. And then they all shower, and then they all hang out, butts out to the world. That's to get the ladies in. I get it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, sure.
Because, otherwise your girlfriend might come to this movie and be like, man, this movie sucks. But then at the end, she'll at least remember 4 butts she got to see.
You have the ass swiftly followed with a masturbation.
Yes, which actually brings us to our first sound clip, which is which one did I label it as? It's jerking it or something like that, or...
Sounds about right.
Program Mel.
Oh, that's not it. I gotta figure out. I can't. Where is it? I screwed this up completely. Fucking since I was 10. That's it. That's
what?
it. Fucking since I was 10. So
yo, you gonna stand there and tell me you ain't never jerked your dick in your whole life until last week? That's bullshit, man.
I never needed to. I've been fucking since I was 10.
I actually, my doctor asked me if I went in, things were hurting, and he said, "Hey, Cameron, you smoke it all, you drink it all." I said, "No, I'm not really." I said, "Are you sexually active?" And I was like, "Well, yeah."
Yeah.
He goes, "Yeah. Do you ever, help yourself out?" And he asked me this. I said, "No." He asked me this.
Yo, you gonna stand there and tell me you ain't never jerked your dick in your whole life? It's like until last week? That's bullshit, man.
I never needed to.
Yeah.
I've been fucking since I was 10.
And,
Seems like,
yeah.
Physically impossible. I don't know if you can fuck when you're 10. I don't know.
Well, in the metaphorical sense.
In the metaphorical
Yes.
sense. Yeah. I think, it's interesting. I don't know if we have the fucking since I was 10 separated, but we'll find out.
I think we do.
I was, one of my first jobs was babysitting when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And when I was like 14, before I could get a legal job. And there's this one kid down the street who was a real asshole. And he just thought he was so cool. And somehow he found out through his grade school friends, through the middle school friends, that I had a girlfriend at the time and we hadn't even kissed yet. And he was like, "Come on, you big pussy, what are you doing? You haven't even kissed her yet?" And he looked at me and I was like, "Oh yeah, what kind of action have you gotten? What kind of action you gotten, little Ricky or whatever your name was?" And then he looks at me and he goes,
I never needed to. I've been fucking since I was 10.
I'm like, "Jesus, you're 11? That's a year of fucking, man. You're already way ahead of me." I told his mom, and then she kind of clamped down on letting the ladies over. The door had to be open from then on. The door had to be open from then on.
I don't know if you've ever been to, there's a barcade downtown.
82?
82,
Yeah,
it's
82 bar.
Wonderful. I honestly don't understand why this guy even said this to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I was going up, they have the Simpsons arcade game.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like the 4-player one. You can bar it on the skateboard, you know it. And I was playing with this guy next to me, and he's doing pretty good. And I was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, you learned all these moves. Like, how you learn this stuff?" And he goes, "Yeah, I've been doing this a long time." And I was like, "Have you ever used cheat codes?" And he said,
I never needed to. I've been fucking since I was 10.
I was like, whoa, okay.
He doesn't even
I don't
need-
understand.
He doesn't. That's because he doesn't even need
Right.
cheat codes for life.
That's
Because
right.
he's so fucking badass. He's been fucking since he was 10.
I was like, okay, all right.
All right. I don't know how
And
to
then I
top
said-
that one. That was
And
fantastic.
then I said, "Hey, have you ever masturbated?" No.
No.
I didn't say
I
that.
never needed to.
There it is.
I've been fucking since I was 10.
So this is what, like, Bokeem Woodbine, a.k.a.
By the way, just-
Crunch in this movie.
Bokeem Woodbine, in that, when they shot that scene, he put a bunch of socks in the front of his pants.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
just wanted to throw
I
that
love
out
that
there.
that's some sort of weird
That is
trivia.
the only fact on IMDb.
There's no facts about this movie at all. Bokeem Woodbine stuffed his shorts. That'd be an embarrassing fact to have out there. It's like, what
horrible.
dickhead crew person was like, "Hey, I'm going to put this on IMDb."
Maybe he did it himself. Maybe he thought it was funny.
Maybe. So that's the Bokeem Woodbine, a.k.a. Crunch, in this movie. For the rest of the film, the entire purpose he serves is to talk about how ridiculous Melvin is for fawning over two women who are gold diggers, and they're just sucking him dry, and he's like, "Straight jacking is how you save the cream."
Yes!
We actually have that. Let's just play
let's
straight
play that,
jacking because he
please.
says it.
Get with the program, Mel. Straight jacking saves you that mad cream.
The way he says it, he's like, "Get with the program, Mel," and then he goes, "Straight jacking."
Program, Mel.
It's just-
Straight jacking saves you that mad cream.
and he is just so stoked.
I was trying to think if I could fit a Mel's Diner reference in there with coffee creamer.
Yeah.
But Jesus, I don't think it's. I just grossed myself out.
They do have they sell crepes every once in a while at Mel's Diner.
Mel's?
Yeah, and there's whipped cream, and at one point they brought over the whipped cream. I'm really reaching for this. They brought over the whipped cream can, and Mel was actually there. He was serving it. He was very excited about this new crepe that they were serving, and they were all they thought they were out of whipped cream. And I was like, no, you're just not shaking the whipped cream hard enough. I was like, you gotta jack that whipped cream to get it on the crepe. And I said to Mel, I looked at him, and I know you've been in business for 50 years now, or however long, and I said this.
Jacking saves you that mad cream.
I thought you were gonna say flapjacking.
Flapjacking. There's the Wu-Tang song, Cream, cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money, dollar bills, y'all. And it's interesting because I live my life by that, And there was a dark time when I may or may not have stolen some movies from a Blockbuster and then resold them to a neighbor kid. And, but that cash, it rules everything around me. And when the neighbor kid was like, "Do you feel bad about jacking those movies?" I looked at him and I said,
Jacking saves you that mad cream.
and he gave me that $3 for
Yes.
those 2 VHS tapes.
That is it right there.
Stone cold thief right
That
here.
is it.
That is not true. I've never stolen VHS tapes.
But this is an example of the thing I was saying earlier, which is you make the choice for the characters or the plot or whatever you want to make a choice about, and you do it, and that is it.
And they go balls
You
out
just
with it.
Fucking do it.
Literally.
And do not hesitate.
Nope.
And at the end of the day, even if we don't like the movie, which we love this movie, but if you were to watch a movie and not like it, at least you can respect the fact that they made a strong choice.
And in fact, while we're on the train of straight Jack in it, we might as well play his third sound clip that we have. Because here's the thing, I had like 7 sound clips from him, and then I realized the entire show would have just been about masturbation.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Because all he talks about is that. There's a scene later on after they've done the hit where every time you see him, he has these amazing, he's using like just normal like grip buster, whatever the weight things are that strengthen your grips. Then he has this contraption that's like a metal, like a ring around it, and has all these hoops with each of his fingers, and he's squeezing it as he's talking to Mel on the phone. This is later in the movie, and he's like, Mel, you gotta get out of there. Cisco lied. He's only looking out for himself. He killed Gump. They're coming after you. And he's really intense as he's like strengthening his jerk-off muscle. He's ambidextrous too.
Yeah, of course.
He does either. And then you see an off-camera clerk hand him a bottle of lotion, and he gets real pissed about aloe vera. So if we can play the aloe vera clip.
I said it should have some lanolin in it, not some goddamn aloe vera bullshit, motherfucker. Get it straight.
The best thing is you hear it. Can we play that one more time? Because you hear in the background, and just mind you, all the ching, 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 ching that you hear is him just working that machine. Ready? Let's play it again.
I said it should have some lanolin in it, not some goddamn aloe vera bullshit, motherfucker. Get it straight,
Motherfucker.
He gets full on John Travolta. Motherfucker.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's so good. Well, now that we've reached
like
the
this
end of
guy.
our jerking off portion of the show,
We'll be right back.
we'll be right back with a sponsor from Lanolin Lotion. Not that aloe vera
Do you
bullshit.
masturbate?
I don't even know what the difference between lanolin is. I don't know.
Lanolin, I don't know.
You stopped just.
I was searching for it.
It would have been even better if you were like,
believe-
actually, I'm an expert at lanolin, but I don't want anyone to know this.
Pretty sure they have it at Mel's.
Pretty sure, yeah, Mel's has lanolin.
sell
Straight
it.
Jack and saves you that cream, Mel's. So now we're gonna move on from that. They do this big hit. The first scene in the movie, this first action sequence is bananas because
God.
it's so typical '90s action sequence where it's very stylized-ish, but in a poorly done way. Like he has the night vision on, and then he blinds him with the flash grenade. And when he walks in, it's like this weird kind of like stutter film technique where they think it looks cool, and just now it looks super shitty and hilarious.
Yeah.
But he goes through basically everybody else is hanging back. Cisco and Crunch are sitting there, and he's
by the
like,
way-
non-dairy creamer? And they're like, we got you covered.
Shooting bullets at who knows what.
Yeah.
But how long have they been doing this?
It's
That's what I wanted to
years.
know is like...
Oh, yeah. Oh, how long
he
have
didn't catch on yet?
Yeah. Oh, you mean how long have they been doing... Yeah, how long have they been doing this scam to him where
Yeah.
they just... I feel like it's what they've been doing since the beginning, and he's too nice.
It all goes back to him being too nice and not wanting to upset people.
He
and
wants
wanting
everybody
to
to like him.
Yeah.
That's why.
That's what it is.
That's what it is. He's a giant pushover and wants everyone to like him.
Yeah.
So I love the fact that somehow when he first busts in the room, the first thing he does is like this breakdance spin on the ground as he's shooting dudes. And this is the greatest thing about action movies. No one with their machine guns can shoot him as he's spinning in one set place.
Well, he's
I
dodging
understand
the
if
bullets,
I
guys.
understand if he was spinning all around in figure eight, but he's spinning on one pivot that you just aim at the center of the pivot and you can kill him.
Actually, fact about those guns they were using though
please.
is that where you're aiming, unless you reset this, it doesn't come factory. It's actually 2 feet above where the bullet.
Oh, yeah.
If you look through the crosshair, I don't mean to be technical.
The problem is that the bad guys never know to readjust and to
don't.
calibrate their guns.
Yeah.
They're everybody
Well,
knows
most of these
factory
guys were
issue.
new. They were sweaty. They were nervous.
super
and they
nervous.
didn't realize what guns they were using. They were just using their own guns.
It's okay. It's all right. I'll give them the benefit
Straight
of the doubt.
Jacket saves you that cream.
So Straight Jack and saved Mark Wahlberg that cream because he's just jacking these dudes left and right, spinning around. Then he does that amazing like air jump thing that looks like a weird, lame roller skating trick. I wish I could jump.
Pretty freaking cool,
I don't know
though.
if I could do it in the studio without breaking something. But just imagine his legs go up like. Imagine these are my legs. He just hops up like this and is like,
Yeah.
How you hit anyone with a move like that? And also, it looked like he jumped off of a trampoline. Like they were like 3, 2, 1.
I'm pretty
action.
sure he did. He definitely did.
It's incredible.
Maybe he brought one.
Yeah. He just had a trampoline.
He had everything else in his pockets, including many grenades and flashbangs and smoke grenades and all kinds of things. I love the curtain pull.
Oh, the curtain pull.
That was one of my favorites.
It doesn't make any
why.
sense
No.
because he throws a smoke grenade and then they're all like, we can't see. And he opens up one curtain and you're like, oh, okay, now he can see, so that's why he shoots. But then he keeps going and
like
opening
8 curtains.
He keeps opening every other, as they're all going down the same hallway he's already shot at. So I don't know why he has to keep opening the curtains other than it just looks cool on camera. Arguably, it looks cool on camera.
I mean,
Maybe
seeing about 40 seconds straight of curtain pulling.
You know,
pretty
it's pretty 90s if you ask me.
good.
It's pretty fantastic. And then when he rolls down the railing like we talked about is amazing. It reminds me of Chow Yun-Fat and Hard Boiled when he gets on the railing and goes and just runs down it.
Yeah.
It's like an extreme version of that.
I've done that before. I've done what Mark
Yeah.
did in this movie before just by accident.
Did it end well?
No, it hurt a lot.
I imagine it would hurt a whole lot.
I did it off of, this is a true story, I'm not even telling a joke here, but I did it off a bunk bed. Like the ladder
Ooh. And you just rolled down. Yeah.
in the middle of the night.
That is not good. I had a
Yeah.
bunk bed when I was a kid, and I fell out. I got tangled up in it one time, and it was like a really lame bungee jump without the bungee and without the jump. I just kind of fell and got tangled. So it was neither. So this big hit happens. Cisco screws him out of money because he pretends that he was like, oh, he was still breathing, and I busted the last cap in that fool.
I am surprised that nobody else says anything to Cisco, though, because I feel like...
They all go along with it.
Yeah.
You'd think they'd get a cut or something, right?
Right, yeah, something.
What do they get out of it other than
No.
being like, we're being an asshole to this guy?
I don't know.
Because I don't like any of them except Mark Wahlberg in the beginning because they all seem like jerks. And then
Yeah.
later on, everybody but Cisco is cool. Cisco's the crazy one. So you think they're all going to turn against him.
Yeah, but...
But they don't.
No.
So they're okay with petty theft from one of their teammates, but not murdering each other, I guess. So they draw the line.
That's fair.
They draw the line.
They have a line.
Okay.
It's drawn.
So then Mel goes home. We meet Christina Applegate, and she's already like talking about. She's like, "Does my ass still look firm?"
I thought
And
they were brother and sister.
it did seem like that at first, and then when he started grabbing her ass, it was real. It does seem like that.
Because she said mom and dad are coming over later. And I
Yeah.
was like,
So you're
Mark Wahlberg,
you're sitting
what
there
the
like,
fuck is going on?
Oh, guys, this is a bad choice.
your first girlfriend is demanding $25,000.
Your second one
and
is
very
related to
abusive.
you.
Your second one is related to you.
She is not. Just to clear up for those of you who haven't seen this,
I was scared.
it was his in-laws that are coming in, and Elliott Gould, I believe, is the one of them, and then the other woman from My Big Fat Greek Wedding 1 and 2.
Yes.
The cinema classics.
Yes.
But he gets a call from one of my favorite cameos ever as the Big Top Video employee calls. Because we all got these. If you were a child of the 80s or 90s, some of you don't even know what video... In about 5 to 10 years, people may not even know what video stores are. Or were, I should say. There's
not
very few
many
left.
of them around.
And even further back, people won't know what VHS tapes are like they had in this movie.
Yeah.
And the whole thing about Be Kind Rewind and like your tape's overdue, you have late fees. Nobody knows what any of that stuff means anymore.
Yeah.
And so for me, this just being a child of that era and getting these annoying calls from the employees like, your video's overdue. I used to have recurring nightmares about late fees. That's how stressed out they made me.
I did too.
Where I'd be like,
there was the
I
one
forgot a video
store-
under my seat or something for like 3 weeks, and I was like, oh my
Yes.
God, I owe like
That was the
$75.
worst. My mom would accidentally put them in like the thing under the TV where we kept the other like the Disney movies and stuff. She'd put it in there and be like, "We'll return this next week." A month or two would go by and you'd find it. Stressful.
You'd owe so much. Late fees got ridiculous.
Christ, they were like $5 a day at one point.
Blockbuster ended up getting sued because late fees were so ridiculous. Because people, I used to work at a video store. I worked at a Blockbuster and a Video Time.
Yeah.
It was a little mom and pop's chain. And I remember people would, I actually had to be this person. So the very person I hated, I became.
How dare you.
What I hate.
Yeah.
And I had to call people. Usually for Video Time, it was adult videos that people had out, and I'd have to
Okay.
be like, you have one of our adult films out? And they'd be like, what film? What film? And I'd have to be like, well, it's one of our adult films, and they're like, which one is it? And I have a line of customers. I'm like, it's Bust a Nut in Grandma's Butt, and they'd be like, oh shit, all right, I'll bring it back. And that literally was a title. I'm not making that up. One of the titles of something that was out. I will never
Google it. Don't Google it to confirm.
I've never seen the cover of it because when it was returned, I made someone else put it back on the shelf.
Yes.
But as long as I live, I will never forget the title that I will not mention again because it was so gross. But another one was Large Ladies.
That's
and
it?
I don't mean well endowed.
very undescriptive.
I don't mean well endowed. I mean gigantic. And yeah, so I had to become this person. Anyways, long tangent.
Jackin saves you that mad cream.
Yes.
That's what happens when you're into granny porn.
Yeah.
So Big Top Video guy calls. So we're gonna go into this now. The Big Top Video clip. It's the your late King Kong Lives.
Hello?
Melvin Smiley, please.
This is he.
Mr. Smiley, Big Top Video.
We're calling to inform you that you've had our copy of King Kong Lives out for over 2 weeks now.
Return it immediately, or we will have you killed.
Just for the record, as an employee of two video stores, we were never allowed to threaten to kill our customers if they didn't. We actually had to be very nice about it.
That was in the bylaws?
It was like, they said, don't insult them or their movie taste, and don't threaten to kill them. That was it,
I had one guy insult my movie taste.
Really?
Yeah.
Like get real condescending, like an
like,
Apple Store worker,
rented...
like a Genius Bar worker.
Yeah, it was like you rented the Adventures of Pluto Nash.
And you're late?
And you still have it?
Oh.
And I'm like, yeah. No, but what was great
what
about this
a condescending
video
asshole.
I know.
Like when you go to the Genius Bar, you still have this iPad?
Yeah, you have the 2009 second generation MacBook Pro.
Yeah, because it still works, you fucker. I don't buy into your buy a new thing every 6 months. Because it has...
Return it immediately, or we will have you killed.
But that kid, I love that kid. Danny Smith was his name. I think that he thought that he was in an animated movie.
I think so, yeah. He sounds like a character from, Zootopia or something, like.
Yeah.
It's
It's
hilarious.
like Marcus Ford is like, hello, and he's like, Mr. Melvin Smiley.
Listen. Oh, and then his reaction is it's very Jim Carrey. Or we will have you killed.
Yes.
It's like this kid wanted to be Jim Carrey
He did.
so bad.
And he did it well.
So now we get to the point where Mark Wahlberg, Melvin Smiley is under financial ruin right now, which I don't buy his stakes with that at all. Oh man, I can't give money for my fiance because she just lets me grab her ass and her parents are really annoying and I can't
She might be my sister.
And she might be my sister in another movie, but I can't give money to my girlfriend Chantel. She's so nice to me. Oh wait, no, she's not. It's like it doesn't make any sense why he's so stressed and he's drinking Maalox all the time.
Because his parents are dead.
Yep.
And he's afraid of being alone.
There was something in there. They said they had a whole backstory to why he was so afraid of being alone and all that. And they were like, well, due to budgetary and time constraints, we cut that. And I'm like, what? Okay, so just for the future, Hollywood, if ever you're like, hey, man, we don't have a lot of budget on this, we have limited time, what can we cut? Just a thought, maybe the lead character's backstory that helps you understand his entire worldview might not be the first thing you should put on the chopping block.
I don't know.
Just saying.
We need the masturbation
We
stuff.
really need...
I think the backstory, it's kind of a toss away.
I assume they also cut what Vince's thing was that he had, because they always say, he's like, I got that thing this weekend, and then they never explain what the thing is.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with is cutting a main character's backstory so we can have more jerk-off jokes. But it's fine. So he goes on this hit, or they convince him to kidnap the daughter of this Japanese filmmaker, Jiro Nishi, and he's made a movie written by himself, directed by himself, starring himself in it, called Taste the Golden Spray. The movie is called Taste the Golden Spray, and it has this amazing, like, fake romance novel cover to it.
It's, oh man.
And
he
it
almost
tanked.
looks like a, what is it called when you have a guy that has half a horse body?
A minotaur. He
Minotaur.
looks
He
almost like a
almost looks like a
minotaur
minotaur.
because he's that, perfect, and
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. And we find out that, this daughter that they're going to kidnap because he has millions, this millionaire no longer has any millions. And so they're going to be screwed.
Because he bet it all.
Because he bet it all on Taste the Golden Spray.
And all of the...
I love that their choice is basically a sexual piss joke is what it is, a golden shower joke.
And I like that when they're talking about that, the the little hidden gem that comes up later is the fact that they spent all of the money based on the advertising.
Yep, the golden
and the stand-ups they put in the movie theaters.
the golden medal stand-ups for the theaters. Yes.
And when I watched that scene early on, I was like, why did they pick something more interesting to lose all of the money on, like special effects?
But that's why, because then it pays off
it's so
in the last 3 minutes.
God.
So they kidnap China Chow, a.k.a. Keiko, and some of my favorite moments begin to play out where she gets kidnapped, and first off, she has this guy that just tags along that I don't know if he's like a study partner or just a random rapey douchebag, because it escalates quickly. He's sitting on the bench and he's rubbing her leg, then he gets in the car and he's like, he says no means yes, which is...
he literally says
there's
that.
no... And then he says like, fucky sucky long time. So he goes from creepy to douche to rapey to super racist rapey guy.
Yeah.
Real quick. And then Mark Wahlberg, rightfully so, rolls down the window and he's like, hey, fucker, you give me some privacy? And then shoots him in the head.
I was so happy.
Blasts his head.
Happy.
You know, if you're a rapey racist, you deserve to be shot in the head by Melvin Smiley.
I'm just saying.
He got his just desserts.
Yeah.
And then she's really not that stressed out about the fact that a guy just got his head blown off.
I think that's understandable.
I mean, maybe...
You're in a comfortable situation.
Yeah.
Right? You're in a comfortable in the sense that you're used to being in a limousine.
Yeah, maybe she thought he was just helping at first.
And you're like, okay, this is my limousine. Oh, creepy guy, gone. Oh,
well,
okay.
there we go.
Now
okay.
it's back to
business.
Yeah.
Until Cisco comes in with the tape recorder, and you have... Oh, I forgot about this. I forgot about Gump when he's first introduced. The together non-word remembering clip. Can we play that one, Zach? Non-word remembering. It says... Gump intro. There we go. That's it.
I don't want no fuck-ups on this kidnapping, boy. Oh, come on, yo. I ain't like that no more, kid. Yo, you know I got some shit... Together. You got your shit together, you non-word remembering motherfucker.
That is the setup for his character. You non-word remembering motherfucker.
It's so good.
And like you said, they go full out with it, where he cannot remember the world's... It'd be different if it was like he was trying to figure out lugubrious or some kind of like,
right.
or Razelfine Sanguine or some kind of like technical thing, which is not a real thing, what I just said.
No, it is, yeah. It is.
But it's like he can't remember together, he can't remember like trace, he can't remember deliver, he can't remember just simple words. So this guy's an idiot. This guy's a complete idiot that they got this intel about kidnapping from. So we already know they're in for a long ride. So like we said, China Chow gets kidnapped, a.k.a. Keiko. I like just calling her China Chow, though. It's more fun.
China Chow.
And so we have the Meryl Streep improv sound clip where she's reading this note that Crunch has written, and it's misspelled completely. It's just, the grammar's all off, and she's reading it word for word, and Cisco's getting pissed. So he's like, don't just read what it's supposed to say. And then he says this Meryl Streep improv clip.
It says businesses, that's what it says. You told me to read the note. You never said to improv it.
Oh, improv. What are you, Meryl fucking Streep? Okay, improv the note.
These sexually frustrated, degenerate losers mean business.
Don't improv the note. Don't improv the note.
Don't improv the note.
Everybody knows
Don't improv the note.
Meryl Streep was key in the invention of improv
That's
comedy.
my favorite. That's of all people to pick. What are you, Meryl Streep? Did she have a run of improv comedies in the 90s that I'm not aware of?
I think, I saw her perform at UCB pretty regularly in 93.
Don't, what are you, Meryl Streep? Don't improv. Yeah, improv the fucking note. It's such a funny bit, and then it comes back later as a callback joke when he's calling Jiro, and he's like, we got your daughter. We got your daughter. Listen, these degenerate morons mean business. And he's like, no, motherfucker. And he keeps, and so... Jiro, I know I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but Jiro, when he finds out that, first off, they get Gump. After this, they let Mel take China Chow and keep her in his place with the smelly at the house with the smelly dead body, in-laws, his fiance, and now a kidnapped victim.
Is awesome.
Really awesome. Hilarity ensues. Quite literally.
Which, by the way, real quick, before we move on too far, the tape recorder.
Yes.
I don't know if you heard, the very last thing on it was his shopping list.
So good.
It was so funny.
It's so good.
It's like shoe polish and then cut it off. Oh man. Okay.
So
anyways.
they call Jiro, and Jiro's in the middle of a very dramatic seppuku ceremony where he's about to cut, he's about to disembowel himself like an Akira Kurosawa film, and he's like, oh, no, and the phone rings, and he's like, what the fuck, and he swears in Japanese and picks it up, and Gump has assured Cisco that they can't trace you because we got the trace buster. And he's like, well, what if they got a trace buster? Well, then I got this shit right here. So the trace buster busts the trace, kind of like Star 67 did back in the day if you Star 69 somebody, which, by the way, weird choice of letters, Star 69.
I don't understand. Yeah.
All right, so what if they got a trace buster too, huh?
Yo, that's why I got this trace buster. See, when a motherfucker try to bust your trace with a trace buster, this motherfucker is gonna bust the motherfucking trace buster that's busting your, trace. That's my word, player.
How did he forget trace when he just said it literally 12 times? The trace buster, bust your motherfucking trace, and then you get the trace buster to bust the trace, and then that's what's gonna happen, and it busts your, oh fuck, I was just saying it, and I can't remember. Oh shit, damn it, what was it? Oh, it's so good, the trace buster, and I love that it's everything they decide, like you, that's a perfect example, again, of everything they do in this movie, they do full out. Like the ridiculous nature, where then we find out Jiro has a trace buster, and later on, he has a trace buster.
It's like a super one.
Super trace buster.
It's amazing.
So we'll skip ahead a little bit because we've talked so much about straight jacking it that we only have about 7 minutes left. But so basically the middle section of the movie we can skip around a little bit because the in-laws come and he's drunk and he's just his father-in-law's constantly trying to get a drink.
A lot of religious things
His
happening.
mother-in-law is super into the fact that he's Catholic and not Jewish.
Yeah.
And then there's the scene where the dead body parts. He goes to throw them out just in his front yard. Like, well, I got to get rid of these so the in-laws don't see them. So I'll throw them out in my front lawn because the trash man won't smell anything.
Hiding in plain sight, Ben.
Yeah, I guess so. And then he leaves him by the trash can because he sees Keiko running around. So he's like, oh, shit. And then he goes, all right. And then the neighbor dog comes by and, of course, just starts trying to get at that human jerky. And then we have the sound clip where Mark Wahlberg shoves Keiko into the bathroom, and then Christina Applegate comes by.
Yeah.
Pamela, and he's like, "Oh no, baby, it smells in there." And can we play the stinky poo poo clip, please?
Hey, honey. Oh, you don't want to go in there. You don't want to use it.
No, it smells really bad. Stinky.
What?
How he says that is so good. Can we just play stinky poo poo again?
Stinky.
What?
It's interesting because I thought that was just that must have been incepted in my brain years ago. Because now, anytime, too much information, fine, whatever. Anytime I go to the bathroom and my wife goes to use it shortly after me, I always come out and I go, oh, no, baby.
Stinky.
What?
And she goes, okay. Because, it's a way to make it sound adorable instead of, actually, you know what I really say? I use Beastie Boys. I go, I just dropped in there. Drop! No, but stinky poo poo just makes it sound so adorable.
That was my first word.
Stinky poo poo.
Yeah, my dad was going, dad, and I go,
Stinky.
What?
He was very disappointed
Stinky
in me.
poo poo.
From that moment on.
Stinky poo poo. So now we.
What?
Stinky poo. I like how under his breath.
You know what?
Stinky poo poo.
Sometimes my ad libs on this show are a little bit.
Stinky.
What?
What?
What? Stinky poo poo. So then they have this. Basically the rest of the movie is building up that the hitman boss. It's his goddaughter that was kidnapped, and now he's trying to figure it out. So they get the trace buster, and basically Gump picks up, and then they go after him. But before that, we're building up Melvin's relationship with China Chow, aka Keiko, and they have this like adorable pizza eating sequence.
Yeah,
and then they have she's like, I'll help you cook this kosher meal for your in-laws because they're jerks or whatever, and you want to impress them. And there's this really sexual, weird turkey scene where it's just do your sound effects. It's just this, and they're like, oh, so what else about your life? Oh, Oh, okay. And just like hands are going all over it and just massaging it and just shoving in. It's obscene. This movie could have gotten an R rating just for the turkey scene alone.
I always do that on first dates.
You know, if you see how your significant other bastes a turkey, that's even more sexual. Did you notice that? At the end, he squirts the turkey baste on her leg and goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I made a mess."
You know what he did? He looked at it and he goes, "Oh."
Jack and saves you that mad cream.
On it, Zach.
And then she said, "Stinky poo poo."
Stinky poo poo. So it's it is a lot of turkey baste that he just straight jacks on her. And so now they build this relationship. You kind of get the fact that they're falling in love, even though I guess she's a college student, but she very much looks like she's in high school.
She was originally supposed to be in high school, intentionally as a homage to Asian schoolgirls in anime cartoons.
Super creepy.
And they decided against that, which is a smart idea.
Smart idea. What is acceptable in other cultures may not be in ours.
I never needed to. I've been fucking since I was 10.
So now we got to skip ahead because we've talked so much.
Stinky poop.
We only have a few minutes left, and Zach's gonna kick us out of here. So they show up in the house like we said, minivans blazing, all these hitmen
Chryslers everywhere.
All these Chryslers bust in. He blasts the hell out of them. Basically breaks up with Pamela, aka Christina Applegate.
Yeah.
They somehow disappear. We never see them again. And him and his buddy, him and Cisco, are squaring off. And he's like, "I thought we were friends, Cisco." And he says, "I still love you. Can we play that clip? Still love you, baby?"
baby.
We're still friends. I just need a little space right now. I still love you, baby.
And I love it. He kisses the gun and then bam, 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 bam. Oh, they're shooting up the place.
Shooting in the blind.
They get out. He gets in his sports car. He drives off. And then they have this amazing chase sequence that all ends with all four of the cars ending up in the same spot, where it's the hitman boss and Jiro. It's Chantel and her Fabio boyfriend. It's Mark Wahlberg and Cisco in hot pursuit.
Yeah.
Car crashes ensue.
It's perfect.
And then Mark Wahlberg and China Chow are making out, and they think they've gotten away from everything, and he gets slammed into from behind, and then somehow the car precariously ends up on a tree branch over a cliff. And then Cisco then proceeds to fight them through the woods and drive through the woods in his car miles, it looks like.
It's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
It's the greatest sequence ever, where the video falls out. Oh, because he was going to return the video. He was going to return the video, and that's why they stopped.
When he hit Chantel, and the briefcase fell out.
Yep, and he gets the briefcase, he gets the video.
He's got a gun.
So then they slam down. Somehow his car launches onto this tree that's miles away from Cisco.
Yeah.
And Cisco and him he's
Very
driving,
far.
he's chasing. The best scene in the entire movie is when Cisco is revving the car engine on the hill, and Mark Wahlberg's looking at King Kong Lives, and he just has to get that tape.
Yes.
And he runs up to it, grabs it, and Cisco barrels down after him. And then the car crashes against the mountain, where it ends up just below where his car landed on the geography of this makes no sense.
It's very confusing.
Makes no sense. Apparently there's like a wormhole where they are, and just items end up wherever they need to for the plot.
And the wormhole all leads to the video story.
Yep, because then the car crashes down, you think Cisco's dead, it blows up upon impact like every action movie ever.
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg goes to return it. He has he finally has the square off with the big top video guy who's like, "Ooh, the tape's not rewound. That's gonna cost you."
Oh, Mama, what's this? Tape's not rewound. Oh, that's gonna cost you.
Did they charge people for that?
Oh yeah,
I didn't know that.
There was like a $39. It was like a ridiculous, like $1.39 fee. Anyways, we got to start wrapping this up because they're gonna yell at us.
Yeah.
But it ends in this epic fight sequence in a video store where Cisco has these two knives and he's just slashing away. And he gets stabbed in the chest, and we'll end it on Cisco's beautiful monologue, "Ain't that a bitch?" Cisco dies, Cisco dying to his friend.
Ain't that a bitch? All I wanted to do was to sail my boat, man. You know?
The music.
Navigate by the stars. See dolphins racing alongside, you know? Maybe even kill a few of them.
His dying wish is to kill dolphins.
Yo, Mel. I could almost see it, man. It's fucking beautiful.
It's fucking beautiful.
I love this.
Long story short,
can't see it anymore.
Mel kills him, and the place blows up, and Mel hides under the Jiro, the Taste the Golden Spray metal display. He ends up posing as the limo, or Vince comes back, helps him pose as the limo driver, and him and China Chow sail off into the sunset on Cisco's boat.
Yeah.
But isn't that fucking beautiful, that ending?
Oh, so beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
It's perfect. It's what Cisco ended up wanting in the end.
You know, I know we didn't get to talk about the action sequences as much as I'd like, because there's just so much awesomeness. I could talk about this movie for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Because, straight jacking is just how you get that cream. That's just what happens, If there's anything
Stinky poo-poo.
you should learn, kids at home, straight jacking is how you save that cream.
Jacking saves you that mad cream.
Oh, God. I hate myself for saying that so much.
What?
Stinky poo-poo.
Stinky poo-poo.
That was a stinky poo-poo way to end the show. Hey, well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that is all we have time for because they are kicking us out. Until next time, we don't know our movie yet, but we will let you know on Twitter. But please,
Oh, that's gonna
cost ya. Comment below on the YouTube video. Make sure you go on iTunes, rate us, give us a good review. One good review goes a long way.
Yes.
Also, you can tweet at us your suggestions. We love hearing from you. The big hit was a suggestion, and we had a blast talking about this. So please keep them coming in. We like it. That's what we're talking about, baby.
Yeah, stinky poo-poo.
Stinky poo-poo. You can follow me at the Ben Begley. Also, the movie my wife and I co-wrote, The Funhouse Massacres, at Funhouse Mass and funhousemassacremovie.com. Coming out June 7th on VOD and DVD. Check it out or add it to your Netflix queue. If you don't have the cash, you can at least do that 5 seconds, and it really helps out. Appreciate it. Where can they find you?
The Only Camshaft Twitter and Instagram and at Guilty Movie Guys is the Twitter handle, #GMP.
Yep.
That's it.
And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, what is your guilty movie pleasure?
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, Christian Harloff, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of its owners or principals.
Jacking saves you that mad cream.